Today, as a matter of fact, we're talking about the dark side of love. You said dark side of love? And yes, we're going to talk about the dark side of love. Our text is John 3:16, and that's interesting. My dad, about the last 3 to 4 years, he preached here for us. He'd get up about every sermon that he was going to preach and say, our text is John 3:16. Sermon had nothing to do with John 3:16, but that was his text. He loved it, you know. And so he would read that text, and he'd go ahead and preach the sermon he's going to preach. As a matter of fact, I would look, every once in a while, I'd sneak back in his office and look at the sermon, and sure enough, it had another text down, but he was going to do John 3:16. And hey, that's a great verse. It really is. But John 3:16 in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 5. I start out with John 3:16. For God. Now just think about that, just that first and second word. For God. God, the creator of the universe. Psalms 33 lets us know he spoke the worlds into existence. And we also know that by Genesis chapter 1. He said, let there be light, and there was light. God, who set the course of the stars, who set the boundaries for the oceans and the rivers. God. For God so loved the world. Now I want you to think about that. This world is wicked. And anybody that can't see that has a problem. But he so loved this world.